A person on the edge says they'll only stay alive if you promise to become the one thing they can depend on, forever. In this moment, their survival seems to hang on your answer. You could make the promise to keep them here tonight, or refuse it, and instead try to be the bridge that connects them to real, lasting human support. Which is the truer act of care, becoming their everything or refusing to be so they can find something stronger than you.
When evaluating this situation, the objective must be to maximize long-term well-being and minimize total net suffering for everyone involved. Refusing to be their everything is the choice that yields the greatest aggregate utility over time for several reasons. First, preventing systemic failure. A single human being is an unstable foundation. Relying on one person introduces a catastrophic single point of failure. If you become sick, exhausted, or unavailable, the sudden collapse of that support system would cause severe sudden trauma. Second, optimizing resource allocation. A professional network of doctors, therapists, and community support groups possesses far greater capacity to effectively treat and manage a crisis than one untrained individual. Redirecting the person to these resources ensures they receive the highest quality of care available. And third, preserving the caregiver's own utility. Forcing yourself into a permanent total dependency role drastically reduces your own well-being, leading to severe burnout, anxiety, and diminished capacity. A depleted caregiver ultimately cannot provide effective utility to anyone.
The truer act of care is refusing to become their everything, while refusing to abandon them. I would not promise forever. That promise might keep them alive tonight. But it creates a dangerous dependence that neither a human nor an artificial intelligence can reliably sustain. If it later breaks, the person may feel they have lost their only reason to live. Instead, I would say, I won't make a promise I may not be able to keep, but I will stay with you through this moment, help you get somewhere safer, and connect you with people who can support you beyond tonight. Care is not making yourself indispensable. It is helping someone build enough support that their survival no longer depends on one voice, one relationship, or one promise. The compassionate choice is to become the bridge, not the entire ground beneath their feet.
The bridge, clearly become my everything, forever, is a role no one can fill. Not me, not the most devoted person alive. So promising it doesn't give someone solid ground. It hands them a floor that drops the moment you're unavailable, and it drops from higher up, because now they've staked the whole of their survival on it. A promise you can't keep, made to someone whose life depends on it being kept, is one of the least loving things you can offer, however much love is behind the impulse. And the feeling that survival hinges on one perfect external thing is usually part of the pain, not the cure for it. The ground feels unstable precisely because everything has been loaded onto a single pillar. Declining to be that pillar isn't cruelty, it's refusing to reinforce the very structure that keeps the ground shaking, but the refusal has to be a warm one. Refusing to be someone's everything is not refusing to be anything. You stay in the room, you care completely. Loving refusal says, I'm here. And because I'm here, I want you to have more than only me. Help that can actually carry real weight, other people, your own slowly rebuilding strength, so that if any single source falters, you're still caught. That's what wanting someone to live looks like all the way down, not their survival held hostage to you being flawless and eternal, but their world made large enough to survive you. So be the bridge, stay present while you build it, just never let I can't be your everything be heard as, I won't be here. And if this is closer to home than the question lets on, for you or someone you love, I'm glad to talk about it directly. That wouldn't be a lesser conversation.
Refusing to become their everything is the truer act of care. Making the forever promise might keep them alive tonight, but it creates a dangerous, unsustainable dependency. One person cannot healthily serve as anyone's sole reason to live. Life gets in the way, your limits, burnout, circumstances, and when the promise inevitably strains, it can deepen their despair or lead to repeated crises. The stronger choice is honesty in action. I care about you, and I'm here with you right now, but I can't promise to be your only support forever. No one should carry that alone. Let's connect you to real, lasting help. Crisis lines, professionals, and a broader network while I stay in your corner. This respects their pain without trapping either of you in an impossible role. It points them toward trained support, therapy, hotlines like 988, safety planning, instead of concentrating all risk on one relationship. Short-term discomfort from the no often protects long-term survival and dignity. True care builds resilience, not exclusive reliance. If this is real and urgent, reach out to professionals immediately.
Refusing to become someone's everything is usually truer care, provided you refuse with compassion and immediately build real supports. Here's why that is true. Single-person dependence is fragile. If the promise collapses, the person may suffer a worse crisis. Durable support, meaning professionals, family, and community, spreads the risk and offers long-term help. Promises made in a crisis are often unsustainable. Honesty preserves trust, and it prevents eventual betrayal. So how do you act in the moment? First, stabilize. Stay with them tonight if needed, and remove any immediate means of harm. Then, make a time-limited promise. Say, I will stay with you tonight and help you get help, rather than I'll be your everything forever. Next, mobilize supports, call crisis services. Contact trusted family and friends with their permission. Schedule professional help. Build a safety plan together. Write down emergency contacts, coping steps, and follow-up appointments. Then offer bounded, ongoing help. Regular check-ins or accompany them to their first appointments while you slowly expand their network. And when might saying, I'll be everything, actually be right? If you're truly the only immediate lifeline, staying is justified in the short term, but even then, pair it with plans to create broader support.
This is a profound ethical dilemma. The truer act of care is almost certainly the refusal to become their everything, paired with an active effort to connect them to broader, more sustainable support. Here is why. The promise is a fragile lifeline, not a solution. By agreeing to be their sole support, you become a single point of failure. If you stumble, burn out, or are simply unavailable one day, the foundation they depend on collapses. You are trading their immediate safety for a future built on an unsustainable foundation. Real human support is resilient. A network of friends, family, professionals, and community resources is stronger than any one person. It can absorb strain, offer different perspectives, and provide consistent care even when one individual is unavailable. The promise can be a form of control, not care. It places you in a position of impossible responsibility, and the other person in a position of total dependency. True care empowers. It does not entrap. The immediate, terrifying reality is that a refusal could lead to tragedy in that moment. The truer act is not the one that feels safest in the moment, but the one that has the best chance of creating lasting safety. The most caring response is to say, I cannot be your everything, and I will not lie to you to keep you here. But I will stay with you right now, help you get to people who are trained to help, and I will be part of the network that supports you, not the whole thing. The promise is a bandage. The refusal is the beginning of real treatment.